Welcome to my Awesome Games Done Quick 2025 video submission of the Easy Mode category for the game Jackie Chan Adventures for the Game Boy Advance. This category is certainly the breeziest category of this game, as Jackie Chan Adventures' respective modes, medium and hard mode, are certainly quite a bit more difficult. The differences between these categories will be discussed in a little bit of greater detail when you see the runs themselves, and those differences will also be included when you see the submissions for the medium and hard mode categories as well. For the runs I'll be showcasing in the easy mode category submission, you'll get to see what the run can look like if it is well executed, in addition to runs where things can go well, but sometimes you'll also get to see what happens if things don't quite go as planned within the run, just to give you an idea of why the time estimate is set where it is for each of these categories in each of these submissions. On top of that, these runs will showcase what the commentary may potentially look like if this run were to be accepted into the marathon. Thank you for your consideration. For consideration of Awesome Games Done Quick 2025, this is my video submission for the Easy Mode category of Jackie Chan Adventures for Game Boy Advance. The Easy Mode category is, compared to hard mode and medium mode, considerably breezier. It's not an easy game by any means. This is still a moderately challenging beat-em-up game, especially when you first start. Even as a speedrunner, with the risks that you're taking, this game still does not let you off the hook. You'll see very quickly why, as I explain the run, as I explain CPU interaction, as I explain, fighting mechanics, individual approaches, level to level. You'll get to see why that this is still a challenge, even with the difficulty set at its lowest possible mode. So, with that all being said, I'm going to get the run started in 3, 2, 1. At the very beginning, we're just kind of trying to skip through all the dialogue. We don't really want to see it, but if at all possible, avoid having an extra punch that we have to deal with. Now, I somersaulted immediately, so everything that could have gone wrong went wrong right away. It is not always like that, but in this first set of encounters, it was. First 3 enemies were giving you all of the telltale signs that this could be a tough run. 1, being evasive. The enemies will sometimes just run away from you. There isn't always a choice in the matter as to why they do that. Sometimes they'll block, they'll go for some hits right afterward, and it's where your improvisation skills have to ready as good as possible. All the opponents today are really just giving me the most amount of work to do here. We'll see if Tough Guy has the exact same set of interactions. I believe that the hits are still consistent. Yes, they are. So it's 1 hit followed by 3 sets of 4 sets got, I call them bug eyes because their sunglasses make them look like insects. But they are glasses wearing goons. There's a few different gangs in San Francisco that will be chasing you as you go globetrotting throughout the world. These are some of the trolliest movements that I've seen this entire run so far. It is not always like this. Let me just be first to say that. So maybe they're giving me the worst right out of the gate, and things will just get slowly better as we go. It's hard to say. Part of it's on me too, because as you may notice, I've been attempting to just sort of backflip or backwards cartwheel behind some of these enemies, so that I can. I am kind of just in awe of these enemy interactions. I do not normally have to corner the opponents like this, but they have been making me work for each one of these so far. I was expecting I'd have to talk about these later, but as of right now, the enemies have been giving me, every set of problematic movement you could expect from them. So we do get to talk about it. Yakuza Toughs, the best way to deal with them is if you can get the spacing to just kind of give their first set of movements and then throw them at each other. There's some uncharacteristic movements right here. Lots of blocks and lots of evasive maneuvers in this first level. I'm impressed with how well they're handling themselves. Easy mode usually has the least amount of resistance, but this is not your usual type of resistance that I'm used to seeing. So just because I should be able to get away with this, that's the way I like to handle this set of fights. There's gonna be one more. I don't know if it's consistent, but it seems like some modes just have quicker, character intros compared to others. Wow, I'd like to get a single hit on me. One thing I did not mention about the tough guys is these big dudes cannot be picked up. You just have to combat them with punches. They're all getting some hits on me. Now, the type of resistance that you would normally get from this category, it usually does not come from how hard you're being hit. It's more so from just how much damage you take. That's the sort of resistance I traditionally talk about when we are. I wonder if I skip the cutscene. So that first boss, my nickname for him now that I've learned is the actual boss is Hack. For a level like this, I got an unusual amount of resistance here. I did manage to get the stun on pretty quickly on Hack, so, aside from the very unusual enemy interactions I've had so far, things went better afterwards. San Francisco has not been that trolly in a while, so I don't know what the deal is. Section 13 is a lot shorter. There are two courses that it's split into, and it's got these sort of fighting, punching bag robots. They hit hard, so we do want to get them rid of right away. But they take very little hits. They're easy to kill, but they can very easily stun bodies. So that's kind of the exchange for these particular opponents. And when they're in groups of 2 or 3. That damage can quickly add up. It's not as bad in this category, but you still don't want to take any chances. Take that sling, throw them at the other 2. works. Yes, it is. So that slingshot did manage to hit the work robots that were at the very edge of the map. It's not always that way. I took a big risk by just going to the ones at the side. And I was able to just kind of clear them one by one. Not the greatest set of jumps so far, but I'm just kind of, for the sake of functionality, taking care of some of the worst sets first and then going for the next few. Because these guys pack a punch, they can hit hard, and they can bleed your time quicker than you can save Fist of Fury. So we activate the camera, go back around, and then we fight the last few sets of robots that are located there. Got one more here. Pick this up. Deal with those first two. Go back around. I have some punches here and there, but aside from that, it was a solid Section 13. I've gotten a lot more resistance from those players, usually. I have to go just a bit closer to both of them in order to get those first hits. But one thing I did not get to mention all that much is that this is an isometric fighting game, so places where you seem to feel safe, prepare to be deceived, because this game will change what your definition of safety is. That roll was not intended. I was attempting to just, aggressively go a little bit closer, and it just so happened to turn into a somersault. So we deal with them for what they're worth. It seems that easy mode, from what I've noticed so far, has lower spawns compared to other modes of gameplay. There is a pitfall, like, to both sides, but it seems like it's just disadvantageous to go for it in the first place. So I'm just going to avoid it and combat the opponents as normal. And we'll see what type of work I can make out of this. I'm going to try to manipulate my opponents a little bit. And I'm going to just purposely go very low, see if I can despawn this enemy right here. It seems I did not. So what I'm going to do, knock the opponent right here, so I can eliminate a few sets of hits that I have to take care of. Not the fastest. My hope is that sometimes the opponents, because I go really low, will sometimes despawn right down here. Let's see if they do. So those sets did. Let's see how this next one reacts. It will not. I'm going to take it off the side. So that was actually a faster interaction there. These moving traps can knock you off the side if you give them the opportunity to do so. I'm going to purposely go low. Okay. So the roll accidentally knocks them backwards. The kicks are a very safe way if you don't feel comfortable with your punch diameter to take care of the rest. Now we're getting a bit of an introduction to our class of enemies that are known as Shadowcon. I just thought of a cool little nickname. I'm going to call them Shadow Day. There's 4 classes of Shadow K. We're only going to get to see a few of them today. In the easy mode category, they're a bit of a pushover. They're very easy to deal with. I'm going to just kind of pit them against each other. They are incredibly easy to deal with. And there should be one more round left to go. And there we go. One more set of gangland numbers right here. Okay. Well, I'm gonna have some trouble here. And that's the end of that section. Got a gold split too, so there were some strat changes that I incorporated here and there and everywhere. Because of how much less hits, those Shadow K take it easy mode, which is a big part of the time save. I was able to get away with quite a bit of some extra time save here, so that's good. Throw these guys against the other two, and there we go. That's that set of encounters, unless there's one more. I forgot about this. Always a big dude. So this cannonball against him, it's a small one, but it attacks a bunch. Oh, he blocked into everything. That's the most fight I've seen from these dudes in a good while. So that right there is a healing item that's a bit of a T. Okay, try again to manipulate them a second time. These guys just knock backwards. Okay. Thankfully, they weren't being very aggressive, so I was able to deal with them nonetheless. Because they take so little hits, they're very easy encounters to clear right away. As long as you're kind of on top of the dial. Oh, that was an awesome knockback, actually. All right, we're done there. Again, these Shadow K encounters in easy mode are going to be so much faster. And make sure that I keep on hitting and spread with little punches, as consistently as I can. Barely got the grab and everything. That was good, because any further back in, that would have been just a bit of a time waster there. Some evasive maneuver, but so far they're pretty okay. Alright, just myself. I like to pivot back and forth just a little bit. More kicks. Alright, so there we go. It may seem like I'm just kind of suffering for time, but I'm doing alright. I'm going to purposefully grab this cannonball, go back a little bit, and throw it at the big dude. Tough guy can take it. Can take a cannonball. Take it almost so soon. Oh, it is gone. Alright, never mind. Alright, so these Shadowcon, they take 3 hits of or you can kick them off the side. That also works as an alternative. But their punches extend surprisingly far. But they don't take too many hits. They're pretty easy to clear out. Alright, so we got some human opponents below to take care of too. Any luck, they will cooperate and go up the ledge together. Yes, they did. Alright, so that was some more time save right there. We got some Yakuza tops to fight. We'll grab the scroll. Pick up this dude, throw him at the other two. And now we got a fight, another boss fight coming up right here. This right here, I thought it was a grotesque looking Kirby or maybe a demon, but as it turns out, it's a Broadway. That I learned just today. What can I say? The bosses, villains in this game are really something else. Got a bit of a discounted deal. It tries to kind of gulp you up like an insect, so that's not cool. Let's avoid that if at all possible. And we do that by doing some flips to the side. I'm just gonna make sure that I find myself up all right. There we go. And one more set of hits will do the trick. done. I should save a bit of time here. Very nice. So aside from that really trolly San Francisco, I've had some fairly good luck on these last few. We're now in Mount Fuji, which is a train. And it is very possible to just kind of jump off the side. So let's just kind of avoid that, if we will. One more set of hits. Or actually, no, we're done. JK. Slow spawns here, so I'm just going to make sure that they all appear. I like to group them together if at all possible. And I have to go for a spread punch rhythm here because they did not all die at the same time. So I gotta be very careful on this level because it's easy to just jump off the side. Okay. If I can't take air bolt shot, okay, I'll just go for one immediately. Because there's always another one that spawns. Great. Annoying, but we can deal with time loss so far. Because of how very little hits these Shadow K take so far, that will change soon. Good grouping of 3 right there. And we're done with that first train section. Not too much resistance from those first sets. Row 1 at the other 2. This is a very common method that we deal with enemies. So what we like to do is we throw 1 at another set of 2. Or we'll throw 1 at a big guy. Because that is a pretty easy method to clear some of them. And that should be the end of that set. What I have learned, it is faster to just go up and fight the Shadow K. As they are better to group together. And they do not put up all that. See how quickly I, dispatched each one of them. And one more set of Shadow K to go. Oh, I forgot these ones take 4 sets. Sometimes I'll get that. Wait for this one to spawn. They seem to be a bit delayed on that last one for this particular area of the train. And there we go. Onwards to the next area. So far we're doing pretty good. And because delayed spawns, it's a little longer seemingly in easy mode for these enemies to make their appearances, but they're also a lot less aggressive, a lot less annoying. Ooh, got an unusual block, and these guys are playing some unusual maneuvering. I'm just going to kind of have to react accordingly. And this is consistent across the categories, no matter which ones you pick. They will always just pick some relatively uncooperative patterns here. Just got the prevailing hitbox on it too, so it's good. So this dude at him 3 times. One more set. Wow, we got some pretty nice evasive maneuvers from the tough guys so far in this particular level. And just due to RNG, I got the ones that take the most hits to kill too. There's some that take 4 hits of 5, and others that take 5 hits of 5. And I got the ones that all take 5 hits of 5, so was not a fast fight cycle by any means. When we're in the inside of the train in Mount Fuji, we could not pick up the dudes. So we just kind of have to go back and forth, fight one of them as long as we can. You're noticing anything anything else, it's that I only really go for normal punches and normal kicks. And that's because they are the fastest and they allow for consistent stun on. There are like special scroll fighting techniques, but they are usually very easy to mess up. So I tend to not go for them. And they have a lot less usage. There may be one like punch scroll technique that I will go for. But it's just, I use it very, very like scantly. Scant usage of it. Like simply put it, the only downside to using the technique several times is that you end up just having less points off of them. But we're not going for high scores on these levels. We're going for the fastest fight cycles. So that's kind of the play game here. That's the play button. Okay. That actually worked out nicely. I was able to make quick work of that last set. We'll go for it. I'm not going to get it to work. Easy, I think. Oh no, it's actually possible in every difficulty. Okay. JK. So as it turns out, the glitch is possible on every difficulty too. I thought it was not possible on this difficulty, but as it turns out it is. So I learned something new today. This opponent that you see right here is Valmont. He has a very interesting style of combat where he will pause a little bit and go for some, scroll attacks of his own. They're very easy to deal with. Go for this scroll block if a chance to, so I don't have to worry about that later. So generally it's pretty inconsequential to get punched by Valmont in easy mode because of how little damage each of the enemies do there. I decided to take the hits because I knew I was going to lose life. We're getting to Forbidden City. This is a fun one. Regardless, I'm just going to let that guy jump if he gets a little too far away from me. I've been getting some really quick encounters. Forbidden City does have these areas where you can fall off the side. Let's just a little bit there. That's good. That's the last class of Shadowcon. I mentioned that there are 4 different classes of Shadow K. They're being very, very well behaved today. Well, mostly. Let's see. This last one should spawn. Good. That's still, even no matter which category you go for, it's the fastest way of doing it. Alright, let's see if this guy will corner appropriately. Yes. Will. Sometimes it's just a matter of pivoting to get punches. It's not always consistent. You just gotta have to be ready to react on the fly. And that's the end of that encounter. We're handling really nicely. Now that I know how each of these, Shadowcon classes cooperate, I'm having a really easy time working through here. Because the red Shadow K died earlier, I go for the punches right afterwards on the blue class. And then the gold class, they they also have their own settings for how quickly they go out. Bit trolly on the outset, but so it seems like the most sound strategy is just to kill the ones that can gang up on you very easily and then go to the blue ones next. That is not the same strategy you go for in later difficulties. You try to take care of the blue classes right away because they have shurikens. And they will very easily overwhelm you with stun lock if they do get the chance to hit you with any of them. And I have to take some time for them to respawn. They've been very cooperative this whole time, and we'll be able to hopefully get some more cooperation for these next few. Yeah, I've been liking the way these been playing it out so far. What if I actually corner them here? And the answer is yes, I can. It's good to know that I can do that, because it does save a considerable amount of time. And I've been getting very nice setups from them too. Got one more set, I think? No, that's not quite how that works. There we go. Now we got our boss fight right here, which is... This is going to be fun. This is the Moon Demon. And I know for a fact that it is a Moon Demon. A Moon Demon does put up quite a bit of resistance here. Let's go for it. This is going to probably be a 4-cycler. So that's a super potion. There are a few of those. We're gonna present ourselves. That's a decent fight round. We're gonna go for a bit of a glitch. That does wipe out the energy beam. It's actually faster just okay. It should hopefully take one more cycle left to get through this one. And these guys don't put up all that much resistance. Good deal. And now we just have to deal with the Moon Demon. Because of how little hits the Shadow Phase can take, we can kind of just deal with them right away, and then they're less annoying. Oh, so close. Alright, so we're not going to be able to get a perfect cycler just because of how late I started the punches, but we should be able to be just ahead of the pace. I learned quite a bit about how each of these fights operate too, so in easy mode, I should have a lot less of a problem going into this next one. And that's the end of that. We should be able to goal split yet again here. Wow, we're plenty ahead now. I'm surprised at how much, like, easy mode can sort of range and vary. Alright, let's see. They do appear in pairs. No pickups for me. Let's just force one. And they are going to give me the most fun pattern. I'll put it that way. Fun or trolling makes no difference to me. They're kind of the same. Seems like I have to fight them off the sights. Also, I don't know if it's like consistent across all categories, but it seems in easy mode, the enemies flinch just a little bit. Oh, and also, for some reason, because Wall of China, they can jump off here too if you spawn yourself a little bit lower. So that's kind of just the gameplay here. And we're just going to kind of position ourselves here and wait for our opponents to appear. Sometimes they'll fall off the side, but most of the time you have to kick them off the side. And they can have fun walking around in the woods. At least that's what I like to believe that's what they're doing. Okay, annoying hits. They were being just a bit defensive and also evasive. The combination of those two can sometimes cause you to lose some time. Got some staff wielders coming up. This should still hopefully be a breeze, but we'll find out. Alright, legendary birds dispatched with haste. I'm actually going to start by punching this guy off the side. There should be one more set. Actually, no, I was wrong. Sometimes I forget how many there are here. That should take care of that first set. Alright. So far, so good. We're going to try to get some more knockoffs here. If we can. The green classes, Shadow K, don't take all that much hits, so it doesn't take too long to kill them. Nonetheless, they can very easily scrap hits on you, no matter which difficulty it is, so you don't want to give them that chance to barrel on easy damage. And even though it is easy mode, we still want to just knock them off the side right away. That's just some less fighting we have to do overall. In case the kick is the safest way to clear all of them. Well, sometimes it doesn't make all that much of a difference here. Will for these guys. We want to make sure those shurikens do not hit us. That's the end of that set. We'll see some more Shadow K later. I'm gonna let these guys kind of spawn a little bit. It is a risk going for the backwards flip, because sometimes you can go in the wrong direction and fall into this. What I like to do is I just kind of like to very carefully position myself, just enough, and at least go for one group and then the other group right after. We'll see how this next group goes. That should be the end of that fight set. Yes, that's what we like to do. Just a new strat that I recently picked up is just to let them go down the stairs, and this appears to be the faster way to deal with them. Unless they take a long time to jump down here. Let's find out. Yeah, still works all the same. A bit slow and just a tiny bit annoying, but you'd be shocked. Because of how many off-screen sections there are here, it is the fastest way to deal with this. And then for this last set, I'm just going to go up here and fight them. Just so I can get to the boss all that much sooner. Grab the scroll right away. What I'm going to do is actually purposely use a bit of a strategy where I go for some punches right now. And then go for some more punches. And we'll rinse and repeat until the end of days. Sometimes we get the stun lock on hack, but today, not really giving it to me. Actually, this was not half bad at all. This went about as well as I could ask for it. Good wall of China, actually. Now we're on Victoria Harbor. Not an easy portion of the game. This is where everything becomes very difficult. Let's pick up this guy and throw him against the other. And the punch range just worked out in the nick of time. Alright. Yes, that is the way we like to do it. I'm gonna go back here again and see if we can get it a second time. Not this time, but because Shadow K takes so little hits in easy mode, it's no big deal to me. Alright, let's get them to reposition, and then punch them right away so they don't get the chance to punch me back. See what type of big guy class we get. Got a block and everything, so I did not have to worry about scuffling them in multiple different directions, which is good. Got another set coming up right here. I like to take care of the big guys first, or the guy in front of me first, that's what I meant to say. And that's the end. So that set there, we're going to be on our first GOAT set of Shadow K. They are really easy to dispatch of as long as you get them grouped appropriately. And they have been really, really cooperative today. Not always that way. Let's see if I can get the perfect shot. Yes, I did. Okay. That's good. Should be another one. We'll throw one of them. Alright, buddy. I had to very carefully judge where to go for the throw, because sometimes you can just fall off in that particular set of area, and you do not want to fall off the stage there. That is the last place you want to fall off the stage. One more? Oh no, JK, we're done. And that's the end of that set. Other side, just make sure they don't fall out of bounds. It is possible they can land on the boat when you knock them off the ocean, and then it's really awkward. And ain't nobody want to do that. One more set of Shadow K left to go. As long as you group them together, which is easier said than done, they usually do not put up too much of a fight. Otherwise, they do get the chance to very quickly pummel you into submission. We really don't want that right now, considering how well we're handling this line. Staff wielder coming up next. Because I want to range everything. One more staff because I've got them in that stun area, I'm just gonna punch them in that direction. Good. And I can just kill these. But they'll fall off instead. Doesn't really make a difference to me either way, which way I go about it. I'll deal with them one way or another. And we got our next boss coming up right here. Hopefully it'll be a quick one, but we'll find out. Sometimes they just kind of walk around and do their own thing, and you can get a clean hit on them. Let's see if I can get the water demon kill. Quick kill? No, quick kill on that one. Not quite. We may be taking just a tiny bit of a loss. No, we're fine. Still pretty significantly ahead, but we are getting to an area where things really matter how well we do. That guy is going to decide to kind of just do whatever henchman things he decides to do there. I would prefer it if they just cooperate at all times. Oh, no. Okay. Not the most fun place to die, but thankfully it happened at the very beginning. Sometimes you just get like a nearly impossible place to respawn and live, and that is precisely what happened to me. Jackie Chan Adventures is a well-built beat-em-up game. I also just had a very awkward jumping pattern. That's right, I forgot. I thought Shadow Cave would be the first room here. I was getting some pretty trolly henchman positions. It's unfortunate that they're being this uncooperative. There's only so much you can do about it. Okay. So they're being slow, and I'm just going to have to kill them the normal way. Or about as normal as I can kill them. At least with this guy, I can throw him off. Siberia is a dangerous level, as you may have been able to tell by continue. I didn't even need a force. That is some incredible movement I've seen from these CPs. I don't know, they're just pulling all the stops on this one. I'll be surprised. What the split is for this one in particular. Alright. Might not make much of a difference where we are split-wise because still get quite a bit. So we got our first train statue we gotta hit. Nope, if I can't punch one of them off, I'll punch the other one off. Correct. And that's the end of that first train set. I managed to roll in. I didn't need to do that. Multi-kill on them, but they did not allow for that. I just had to deal with that the normal way. This is a challenging platform section to do here. I can't go too far in one direction or another. I don't like the way that I spawned in. should. I may have to force another continue soon. Jackie Chan is a game where things can be going really well for you at one moment, and then the next moment, the game will just kind of be completely uncooperative. For example, right here, I can't feel out exactly where they are. And they decided to spawn, like, very unusual places. Normally, they just go straight for the jugular. Those particular ones were just kind of wandering about like, whatever. It's not like I have that much time to spare. I don't have to worry. What am I kidding? But I've got time to worry about. Shuriken hitting everything. They're pulling everything. Oh my goodness. We now have to worry about our HP levels. Color me a bit surprised. Yakuza they are quite the troublesome bunch here, so we do have to kind of throw some boulders at them first, and then we can pass them by. You know what? I would like that tea. Oh, they're getting the fast hits and everything. I should be worried about losing another continue here. Yeah, I'm worried about losing another continue. And I lost another continue. Welcome to Jackie Chan Adventures, a game where you can be like on world record pace one moment and completely off the mark the next. That is this game for you. It's unforgiving. Quite the vicious game, if I do say so myself. And it just so happened I got separated out in the worst possible places. This jump here on that first continue is rough. But it was so early on, I was not really like that worried. It does go into one of the big tenets of speedrunning this game. You accept that something is going to go horribly wrong most of the time. Because if there is any game that does not allow you to, you know, get what you want, it's this game. With a category like this, you will very easily be struggling for keeping your pace together. Very strange spawn patterns here, so I couldn't pick them up the way I wanted to. And I had to just sort of wait for them to get back into range with me. Never fun when they decide to work with their own volition. They certainly are. So like this game could go as fast as like under 56 minutes, but most of the time the enemies will not be that cooperative. You can try to manipulate their positions, but most of the time they will not give you the opportunity to do so. That was a good fight set. I didn't expect I'd run through 2 so quickly. But maybe I should have. Alright. That's that right there. Oh, hey, hello. Weird position. That bar right there is one of the most dangerous platforming sections overall. It is very easy to just kind of accidentally somersault or cartwheel or just misinterpret how the isometric platforming on it works. Because the isometric platforming in this game is somewhere between being logical and having no logic whatsoever. That's at least how I view it. Because its logic is somewhere between one side of the earth and a whole other side. I do like the grouping of those shadow pay right here. They will unfortunately have to be killed in normal way. Got a few quick ones. Alright. Despite some misfortune here, I am doing pretty good handling this next set here. I need to get the ball spawns so I can get those first few hits. Okay. Nice. Got the ripple on that one too, so. Alright, let's see where they spawn here. Thankfully, only one for the kick. Cooperative set this time around by leaps and strides compared to last time. I don't always get it that way, so whenever we can, we'll be thankful that it does. Just for hitting me when I was trying to pick you up, I'm throwing you down into the abyss. I was trusting that I was going to be able to get a reliable pickup on that guy, and that the opponents were not going to hit me super hard, which, for the most part, they didn't. Alright, so despite some flumps here and there, we made it to the final set, alright. Okay, alright, buddy. I'm gonna give you some time to reapportion yourself. See how this next set works. So far, they're being pretty alright. Alright, final set. This can be a terrible set of spawns. I'm gonna have to kind of relocate myself just a little bit. Loving your spawn sets here, friend. Maybe don't be so trolly on it with me. And keep on being trolly. That works. Nonetheless, we are through Siberia without any lost lives, which is really good because we can take all the risks we want on Alcatraz, which is pretty good to be able to do that. Amazing blocking power from all these dudes. The Shadow K have been pulling through in the final half. They had me in the first half, I won't lie. Here I'm thinking I was going to get it real easy the entire time, but that was entirely deceptive. They got their day. Ow, that actually worked out better. I meant to throw them on the other side, but no, that was the right decision. Healing items while I can, and we're gonna have a whole lot of glasses wearing dudes. They are picking some. I love how they know like dummy positions here. Not allowing me to corner them or throw them at each other. Which, again, that's the duality of Jackie Chan Adventures. One moment they will give you all the positions you want. Next moment they will just decide to do everything you don't want out of them. I unfortunately gave the Shadow K a few too many chances to get some video. It's it can be bad. In a fight like this, we don't want in a run like this, we do not want them to do so. Let's see how long these big guys take to come into view. Big dude right here is gonna be putting up a good amount of resistance, actually. To hit in order to cooperative Shadow K there. Wonder if my digestion will allow me to finish this speed run. I'm starting to feel like to go to the bathroom right now. I drank a little bit too much coffee this morning. Oh, funniest respawn that I've seen so far. There he is. I do not like these respawns. I was able to improvise my way into a better set, which is good. We will not always get that luxury when we need it the most. Very quickly up here. Some Yakuza type to fight here in this last set. Try to corner them. No, they're gonna. They were gonna decide to wander around a little bit, investigate the place, but the enemy's in front of them. They should take care of them first. Again, not the way that I would interact with opponents if I had those to deal with. But to each their own. They have choices. Okay, my dude. Dave, okay, running in place and everything. I've been all the classic maneuvers that just endlessly control me. For all of the bad patterns that these enemies could have given me, they decided to be pretty alright all around. Alright. So we got one more fight against Okay. Well, if I must go around this way, I will. Oh, good. Even better. For these big fighters. This fight goes really well, we can be as reckless as we want with the final boss, which is Shenmue. But that might not be an opportunity that we get. We do get to be reckless with them, which is good. We do want to do that. So, grab that healing item right away, and we got a Shenmue fight to go here. Just rock and roll and get this all taken care of. Alright, well, I guess we're going to be blown away first. We can't necessarily get the hit on him right away. Alright, that's fine. Kind of just Shenmue's kind of got a bit of a sensitive range for how you can kill him. As long as we can get that quick kill, we are done here. That is easy mode all taken care of. So aside from that really seriously bad flip on Siberia, we did good. And those sorts of game overs can be just sudden, and there will not always be an explanation for why they happen. But it is, we deal with it for what it's worth. There you go, that's time. 1:06:18. Forgot to split on Alcatraz, so I'm just gonna quickly just split again. That's not the time save that's actually there. I'm just gonna quickly do some edits. Well, maybe it is, I don't know. It almost feels like this one is just kind of pointless. I'm just gonna remove it. Either way, we made some pretty big improvements. I had to change the splits. I'm gonna probably follow it up with a second run just to, in the hopes that there's gonna be a better example. I mean, this is a good example, but it also just shows how much time that those game overs can eat up, especially if you're in the middle of a level or a stage. And the kind of the tiered difference between each of these, certainly makes it feel easy to, justify the times that I'm going to be proposing in my estimates when you do get the chance to see those. So, gonna be right back, and I'm going to follow it up with another run. There may be a time skip in the actual video, and I'm going to just kind of walk around for 5 minutes. Okay, well, it was more like 10 minutes than 5, but we're going to go for the second attempt. Let's see if this attempt goes better than the first. I don't have too much to say if you watching the first attempt. Kind of mess up my timing system just a little bit, but that some of that looks mostly accurate. Go back to easy mode, second time. Show off at least place to click on it every time. Time equals us. Okay. Well, we're good. We are good in that aspect. Easy mode is came with some unique surprises on that first run, so we'll see how that second one goes. No, give it countdown. Got a bit of some text and dialogue and cutscenes to work our way through. Slow introduction, but compared to that first run, these CPUs were considerably more cooperative. Still slow spawn, so I believe certain categories have slower spawn compared to other ones. At least that's as much as I've learned so far from the extent of today's run. The name of the game remains pretty much the same. Is that you just go for those punches and that stun lock on the triple punch that I do every time is much more consistent. Okay, got lucky that I had priority on the punch, and that should be those dudes. We're gonna try to corner this next guy. Not quite the first time, but that's fine. We can do it on the next view. The tough guys, you just want to corner them. It allows you to get the quickest set of punches overall. And just kind of reposition myself a little bit and just keep on punching the next few. We're not having half bad encounters this time around. This is going quite a bit better. And the enemies are being considerably more cooperative. We just kind of have to walk into the scene, make sure our dude's walking. And then walk back to the middle. Usually the next opponent appears from... it's not consistent which side they appear from. Usually it is the right side and then left side right afterwards. And I was right about that. San Francisco is a nice introductory level no matter which your game you're playing. Bug Eyes. So what I like to do with these gangland members is I will go for a few kicks and then I will throw them at each other, just to sort of disperse them apart. And I'll kind of just mix it up, kicks and punches, and keep going as such. Some evasive maneuvers from our friends here. I'm just going to kind of purposely go back to the side, pick them up, throw them at the other dude. And we're just going to have to do a bit of a night at the improv to deal with the annoying setups that with those ones. Okay. Give me some time to get the pickup. And we could just deal with it. And now we got Yakuza tops that are coming up right here. So they start with one simple hit, and then we'll pick them up, roll them at each other. 2 more sets just like that. And that should be the end of that set. Bear in mind, when I run into the thugs, okay, they were deciding to be a bit docile and non-confrontational for those few moments there. Alright, now we got some big guys to deal with. Oh wait, I always forget about this set of encounters. while since I've kicked the fire hydrant, so that was kind of neat. Big guy's coming up right here. For real this time. Alright. Good positioning on those two. Alright, fantastic. And that's all the gang factions in this first one. Gives the time for our opponents to just sort of spawn into place. Perfect. 2, and that was how we handle that particular section right here. Yes, it is. And that went about as well as I could ask for. Good San Francisco. It's a bit slower by comparison just because of slow spawns, but because of how well that went, I go in with a boost of extra confidence going into section 13 that my fighting proficiency is up to spec. Again, as I mentioned before, these fighting bag robots here, they pack a punch if you allow them to punch you. So we're going to try to not let them to punch me in the first place. And that means just immediate punches when you land on the next platform, every time. And at least crawl just a little bit closer. I mean, you saw what one punch was just like there. Crafty, nearly hitting me that time too. Oh right, well I ain't have to do this the normal way, but that's actually thank you. We're doing okay. That one's alright. That one's very alright. Okay, bit slow on that next set, but no big deal. We are doing pretty alright for time. To activate the alarm sensors. And then I can move just a little bit to the side to be able to and a bit of an extra jump. Alright, solid section 18. Aside from a trolley set of encounters in that one area, we did good. We'll immediately spawn the next one. Move just a little bit. And that's the end of that first set. And we'll throw that guy down the side. Just because we can, and it's just a little bit faster. Throw this dude and the other dude. You have a chance to do it right away. And a bit of a turn around. Fantastic. And then we'll do the same for this dude right here. Alright, well, I thought I was done here. I usually forget about at least one of the perfect throw. It does not always work out this way. Let's see if I can get the lowest spot here. We'll Looks like I probably won't. We'll have to just kick him down to the other side and let him mosey on over to me. Either way, you go to the abyss. Much like all the other enemies do. Let's despawn these first two. Okay, can I get a despawn? Oh, I sure did. Let's see. It's not always the easiest to get the despawn for every single one of them, but we definitely want to if we can. Let's see if this despawn will work here. It certainly does. Now I got a big guy coming up here. Won't be cooperative on the first one. That's fine. We accounted for that. Now we got our introduction of Shadow Day. Those fights, they go fairly quick. Got a bit of a scroll to take care of here. Because how quick they are, I'm just going to throw them at each other. There should be one more set coming up right here. Couple of gang members to deal with. Alright, fantastic. Good gold split there. And now we're in Bermuda. Another pair left to go, unless I'm... Okay. It's always later than I think. Oh, hello there! What a welcome parade I got. That should hopefully be enough to move on to the next area. It most certainly is. Alright, let's see if I can get a better corner compared to the last one. Well, I kinda did. This backup method ended up working pretty decently. Alright. Out of the way before the next two spawn. And we got some more henchmen to deal with. Sometimes I forget how many hits they take. That's fine. So far, we're handling about as good as we can for this particular section. No big deal, I guess. We're gonna pick up the cannonball, throw it at the big dudes. Alright, now we're inside of the Temple of Bermuda. These fights are going to be a bit more straightforward, hopefully. Actually, that setup worked quicker than the first one, as I was able to, that's good. It'll work for me. Oh, these are some incredible things that are happening right here. That's a great way to describe when the enemies aren't cooperating and you're just getting some of the worst patterns in all of history. Worst is an exaggeration, but the way I describe Jackie Chan Adventures is it's hyperbolic in one moment and the next moment it's just basically like, what do you mean? Alright, let's see what type of pattern we get here. Alright. I guess the word's good enough for him to be said many times, as one does. Let's see. I had to delay the throws a bit so I could just group all three of them together, and we got Discount Kirby. Or Frog. I don't know which to call it, but I'm going to call it Boo. Because it inhales just like Kirby. Goes for the inhale attack, just like Kirby does. Wonder if it's faster to throw a cannonball in it. I'll investigate that later. I'm curious. I am very, very curious about that. We are losing a little time, but that's no big deal. We've had some really good luck in the past with these fights, so it's fine. Nonetheless, we got through it. Minor time loss, but we're still on a very solid pace. We're on Mount Fuji. It's a train, as you can tell. Let's wait for this guy to, you know what, I'll do it myself. The henchman will sometimes just decide, let me go elsewhere, that is not in front of you. They have a tendency to do that in every category, but it seems that they have varying ways in which they tackle that, you know, sort of matter. Nonetheless, we'll deal with them one way or another. It's annoying to have to, but we will always be able to deal with them in the end. Good Shadow Cave fight there. We'll see how the next set goes. Alright. Pretty good. We're done with that train set. I believe there's 3 more to go. Let's pick that one up and roll them at the other. That's a big thing here. It's just like, how can you creatively group them together? And that's kind of one way we like to do it, so we can save a bit of some off-screen fighting. Because it takes longer to off-screen fight than to on-screen fight. Any further and I would have fallen off the side. And they bunched up very, very nicely. Good deal. Solid stuff. Perfect. that's what we like to see. So we're halfway through the train sets. We got one more set that's left to go here. On the enemies. Anticipate the block. Go for another stun. No matter what it takes, just kind of try to find as many ways to get that first set all dealt with right away. Because you can get that first tough guy with one hit, I like to throw for the next 3 and then punch for the last set. And that's a very efficient way to deal with that first set. Very nice walk around for the opponent, being cooperative. We like to see it. We'll see how this next one goes. I'm going to throw for the next 3. I was saving the box for later, because it is better to just throw the box at the first 2. Never mind. JK, I changed my mind. I cannot believe that actually worked out. I was expecting a way less cooperation from our opponents. So since that guy spawned in first, I'm going to fight him first, and then just go around until they're both gone. And then we do the same thing all over again. That is due to the fact that you cannot pick up the opponents and do any damage that way. So now big dude's coming up, we'll see which side. That side appears. Sometimes I go for the mouse scroll attack, but usually I don't, just because it's a very sort of situational technique. It can be used as a reset, but I prefer to conserve its effects as much as possible, out of interest for, you know, not getting hit with trolley blocks. I did get hit by trolley blocks anyways, but what am I going to do about it? He's got a weapon, so I'm just going to cartwheel behind him, and then finish the job. So it's a pretty easy fight. And take care of the last guy. I believe there's one set of encounters left to deal with. Yes, there is. 2 blocks in a row. I'm impressed. We're getting quite a set of different blocks that you can... Let's see if I get the spike skip. We are most definitely going to get the spike skip. That's fine. We can get the grouping I was looking for. Perfect. And now we get to fight Belmont. Belmont is a fun one. He's got big, tough guys. I'm going to kind of just respawn myself a little bit so I don't get kicked by these big dudes. They can sometimes be wildly uncooperative. And I prefer to stay alive as much as possible. Alright, that's fine. See how Belmont cooperates. I'm gonna have to play carefully. shadow cave, so the next few are... Good deal. Let's get this gold set to sort of spawn in. And just the way I like it. They take the most hits, so we like them to, A, not try to hit us first. That'll work for me. Each of those encounters can be taken care of in like a good 15 seconds. You can either corner them to the pillar or corner them to the other pillar. About 30 to 35 seconds. I'll wait for this guy to appear. That's a pretty good way to deal with them. I don't like the way that they decide to sort of operate on their own grounds, but it's fine. We can deal with that. And we did. Everything's kind of sort of a reaction sort of thing. Let him jump behind me. And we're done with that set. It's best to let them jump if they're going to go out of bounds. Sometimes it's better to stay stationary, but right now I'm just kind of like trying to get the pickup. This Shadow Cave's special ability is to waste my time, so we try not to let them waste my time in the first place. Oh, okay. I'm surprised at how well that went. Perfect. I like that we were able to get that to work so effectively. And we're done there. This is the most challenging set of them. Now we got our boss fight coming here, which is Moon Demon, as I call it. A decent first cycle. Let's throw this at him. That blocks one of the beams. Okay, well, not quite the... That's... One more set of shadow caves to get. once you learn that you can very quickly kill off the Shadow Fade in easy mode, it's just better to do that. In hard mode and in medium mode, most of the time you'll just want to bounce around them, play evasively. And hopefully we can give this one more set. But we will find out soon. Depends on how quickly the clouds spawn, and I'm not sure if that's RNG or not. Either way, we've got this one in the bag pretty solidly. Yes! Perfect cycle. I call that the perfect cycle, and I'm quite happy with how that all played out. Let's get the one, let's get the pair to spawn in. Awesome. Good first set. And we should have one more set left to take care of. Wall of China can be a fun level to play on. Oh, well, these are some interesting movements I've seen here. No big deal, I guess. We'll deal with them for what it's worth. Usually they're more cooperative than this, but sometimes they aren't. Oh, nice. We got some despawns. Kind of? Actually, no. Not this time. Sometimes they'll despawn and just kind of fall off the sides, but not this time. This is where you can very easily punch them away. This is like the perfect position. They got a few blocks, which maybe lost me maximum of a second. Now we got the Shadow Fade returning. Okay, I like the positioning that they're going for. And that's about as good of an encounter as you can really hope out of them. Pick them up. Legendary Birds went pretty alright. Now, I may have mentioned it a million times already, but the reason I call them the Legendary Birds is because they have the color bands of the Legendary Birds, and that's just kind of how I refer to them. Still not punch. It's not always consistent. If they get the punch first, they get priority. And if they block, they also most of the time get priority. Play it carefully as you can. And hope that they will give you what you're looking for. Okay, a fairly good set. Fighting next to this here is going to be a little awkward. Because of how wide of an area they cover, that's just, it's not a bad set. This is going to be a really, really easy set as long as they spawn in nice places. So far they are. Alright. And we can just punch them off that way. last one goes. Ah, yes. You love to see it. Alright, and here are some henchmen. We kind of have to let them spawn in a little bit. Oh, they were not giving me what I'm looking for. I try to re-manipulate them. Not perfect, but that'll work for me. So we don't have to deal with like 4 or 5 at the same time. Play it safe, pick up this dude, and down you go. Think about your actions while you walk back up to the wall in the forested area. Same with you, tough guy. You can handle it. That's alright, here I'm just gonna purposely walk down here. It is faster to knock them off the side. They're a bit slow down the bridge, but you don't want to have to do awkward fight sequences. Trust me, it's worth it when they're in pairs. When I get to the single one for the last one, we will fight them up there. Beautiful setup there they got. Alright, another Act 3 fight coming up here. It's going to be the last one for this particular stage. And we're going to throw them here. Yeah, that last unlock goes, that was good. That was a good wall of China. And we're just slightly ahead into one of the very first challenging levels here. We're going to go back here just a little bit. Alright. Some big dudes coming. Alright, and yeah. You handled pretty well so far. Victoria Harbor, one thing I do need to mention, also if those tough guys are going to spawn in, the ones with 4 full bars is better compared to 4.5. Right. Oh no! Oh no. That was unfortunate. An unfortunate death that I had there I need to discuss. Sometimes you jump one way and you intend to make it back to whatever next stage is coming up. I'll wait for those guys to spawn in. Brilliant. Just kind of the wait cycle. I was kind of just like quickly having a moment to assess what to do, and that's alright. That is a very alright fight setup. if we're gonna get any fight sequence, that is the preferred one. Now we're just gonna kill those ones off right away. Well, for as uncooperative as they were, I was able to square them up pretty decently. With any luck, I might be able to get them kicked off the boat. That works perfectly too. If I can't kill them the first way, I'll kill them the second way. So far, I've had the most ideal sort of like setups. You might be hearing me just sort of grunting or freaking out just a tiny bit. The reason for that being is sometimes if you let them kind of run circles around you, it can be awful. Okay. As unideal as that is, I made the best out of it. I have to sort of make the best out of each of the spawns that I get. And these ones can just be dealt with immediately. Okay, I gotta be kind of careful here. Get the scroll first, and then... Alright. I'm gonna have to deal with whatever going patterns they give me. Alright, well this dude's gonna be an interesting one to deal with. We can. I don't like that they spawned there. But we can. Stop running circles around me. Oh, beautiful. We wouldn't ask for any less of them. Alright, now we can jump to the boss. Uh-oh, that ain't good. Well, if I must do it this way, then I will. Sometimes the shadow can't get too much in the way and you just have to deal with them before you go to the water demon next. So we lost some time. Thankfully not too devastating in terms of how much we lost, but it is nonetheless a time loss. How these next few henchmen cooperate. Good first set. Let's see how this next set go. And off they go. We pick up that guy. Roll her down. We like to take advantage of bottomless pits, so long as we're not the ones involved in the bottomless pits. Just for that, I'm gonna throw you right away. Right now, they're just kind of being irritating, which not too far from the usual type of encounters that I get from them. See how good they are for these next two. Alright. Perfectly alright by me. This next set of fighters is going to be right as I get to that star right there. And I can kind of just do a bit of a turnaround here. And we got our first train switch that's coming up right here. I'll mention that it's there. And we'll punch them right off. That first set is fairly simple, as long as you're ready for them, of course. Just as a bit of some micro movement. I very slightly move forward every time. And now we have to kind of very carefully silo our way here. That is never fun to deal with. Bill, okay. Come here, buddy. Can't dodge me. In due time, you'll realize you're probably better off. Well, if I can't corner them, I'll throw them at each other. And that worked out just as well. And they were giving me some very solid encounter areas. Yakuza Tough's coming up right here. Well, one of them dodged, unfortunately. So I had to be a bit more aggressive when approaching them. Another train switch coming up right here. Get one of them knocked off, I'll do it for at least one of them. Where are you? You picked by far the worst place to spawn yourself. The isometric sort of setup of this area makes it seem like, you know, I could get very easily dropped off. And make sure to kick the train switch to the last one. Perfect. That's about as good as I could hope for. And we're just gonna have to play perfect from here on forward. Now we're in Alcatraz. For some reason, this is the headquarters of the Shadow, the Dark Hands. Very interesting place to be. Okay. Well, this guy's being evasive, so I'm just going to deal with you first. Sometimes it's just like, well, what's the point if they're going to be this trolly? And the point is to deal with them one at a time. In certain cases, right now, I'm hoping the glasses wearing dudes will be at least a modicum of cooperative. And at this moment, aside from some rather annoying obnoxious hits, they are. Alright, and that's the last you're going to get to see of them in this run here set. Alright, let's just... deal with the annoying ones first. It's amazing sometimes that they'll just jump into the right position and you don't have to put too much work in. Which, so far, I have not. See how these big guys kind of operate? Okay, all three of them. I'm going to assume that they're done. Good assumption. I'm getting the right stuff pretty much this whole way through. How quickly will they show up? Oh, hey, there you are. Wondering where you were. Is there one more? No, there isn't. We got through them all. A few challenging platforms to take care of here. Those are tough, and it's just not good to fall at this stage. I don't know why they spawn the big dudes here, because they are so easy to just kind of kick off the side, and they don't put up all that much of a fight. Last set of Yakuza's up, so pretty easy to deal with. Group of 3 and then a group of 2. Last set of Shadow Counter coming up right here. I had the chance to get a pickup. Now we gotta fight Belmont, which is gonna be fun, cool and good. We do have a tough tall order here, which is to kind of I'm gonna have a tough one. I may end up losing a continue here at the very end, but I need to. I'm gonna have to hone in on this one. One more hit, okay. So, regardless of the circumstances, we were able to get to Shenbu before we had to do the final fight, so we were gonna have to use a continue regardless, which is fine, I guess. No big deal, I guess. We're gonna lose our, yeah, no problemo. We respawn right back up here, which is perfectly fine. So now we're just gonna kind of go all out. A few more good hits will do the trick. It's a fun run, but it is a challenging run, mind you. No matter which difficulty it is, this Shenbu fight is tough, and the rest of the game is pretty tough too. The types of strats we're using require you to be pretty reckless overall, but we will be able to finish this with a very reasonable time. Okay, well. And that is the end of Shenbu, and pretty much the end of the run. We got a few lines of text to roll through, and then it'll be time. Pull the muscle there for a little bit. Challenging run, no matter which difficulty, but we handled it pretty well. We did have a few unfortunate circumstances. Oh, so time is actually 101.05, or 101.06. Either way, good run. It's one of the easier categories, and I able to do better on that second attempt than the first one. The easy mode category, if there's a category you want to see me kind of just like going the riskiest, going all out with all the strats that I do have available, this would be the category to pick, because it's a breeze and it goes fast. Quite a bit faster than medium and hard mode. So you'll like including a beat-em-up speedrun at the awesome Games Done Quick Marathon. You might like including this. The choice is ultimately yours.